Hello, guys. Welcome back. This is Michelle Diamond with InDaHouseMedia House Calls inside of 285. And today we have a wonderful guest, and I am so honored to have him in our presence. And just to let you know that InDaHouseMedia 285 House Call is brought to you by our sponsors, UnstoppableProducts.com, as well as Sapphire Emerald Magazine. So today we have the legendary Robert Parham, who is not only Golden Glove worldwide champ, as well as kickboxing champion. And I am just truly honored to have you in the building. How are you, Mr. Parham? You doing all right? I can't hear you. Did we mute?
I'm, can you hear me?
Yes, you're good.
Hello? Hello? Hello?
Yes,
There
I
we
can hear
go.
you.
Okay, yeah, I'm doing fine. I'm doing fabulous. Thanks so much for having me.
Absolutely. The pleasure is absolutely all ours. So I know that you're from Staten Island. Yes. And I saw that you
Yay!
relocated to New Jersey afterwards in your younger years. And I just wanted to know with the whole, kickboxing and boxing, what started you on that venture?
Well, what started me in contact sports was number one, my love for Muhammad Ali. Growing up, Muhammad Ali was, of course, somebody that uh, people in my demographic looked up to, and of course,
Right.
Bruce Lee. And then you had the other people, Ron Van Cleef, Jim Kelly, you know,
Kelly, yes.
George Foreman, Joe Frazier, Fred Williamson, and so all of that. And when I was young, I wanted to be a fighter. Um, and I actually didn't win the Golden Gloves. I won the Silver Gloves. So I made it to the quarterfinals of the Golden Gloves, and was defeated. And then later on in my uh, uh, youth, mid 20s,
You're
I'll
still
say
in your
mid late
youth.
20s, I I got into kickboxing. Actually, um, I was involved in the martial arts since I was about 8, 9, 10 years old. But I actually started kickboxing competitively in 1993, I think it was. 1992, 93, and I won 5 world titles in 5 different weight divisions. So
Wow.
my love for ice cream kept me climbing up in the weight divisions.
Awesome, amazing. I kind of read a little bit and I heard that initially, and of course, Muhammad Ali. I know, I saw that Bruce Lee was one of your faves and Jim Kelly. And, what triggered this also, what I read about you was that your dad used to take you guys to the movies every weekend and you guys would watch,
Every weekend,
the martial arts films. And you
yeah.
said what
Yes,
initially
yes.
pushed you. Tell me about the girl. You said you didn't really take it serious until you
How
got
did you
beat up
find
by
out
a,
about that? You're
you
good.
got
You're
beat up
good.
by
You're
a
good.
girl.
So I was in the 5th grade, and I got beat up by a girl who I kind of had a crush on. Name was
Oh,
Mylene. Her name is Mylene Dejoie. Yeah, she beat me up pretty bad. And so after that was over, after my dad finished laughing at me, he was into the martial arts, so he took me. He actually
right.
kept me in all summer long, and it was showing me the martial arts of Tai Chi and Judo.
Wow, amazing. That is too funny, but I thought that was something very cute. I was like, wow, yeah, growing up, we all have these interactions, but that is funny. So, with that, with like Invisible Fists and the movies like such, this is what basically pushed you into that. And then I did notice also, you were awarded the Calcutta International Film Festival Outstanding Achievement Award for Snow Black.
Right, right. So we have this movie I did last year. I directed last year with one of my idols, Ron Van Cleef, and actually my second cousin, Gloria Hendry. You might
Wow.
remember her from Black
Yes.
Caesar and Black Belt Jones. Um, we entered the Calcutta International Film Festival and we won. And actually, we're up for an award tomorrow at the Urban Action Showcase that's taking place. It's going to be a virtual film festival online, um, and I'll find out tomorrow how we did with that. So it's going to
Okay,
be
awesome. So
amazing,
that
amazing.
that's gonna be awesome, and I believe that one is done with who is it? Willie Johnson and Demetrius Angelo, correct? From the Urban Action Showcase.
Yes, the Urban Action Showcase. That girl is doing her homework. I am so impressed with you.
Well,
Yes,
thank
yes.
you.
So
Thank
yes,
you.
so
Thank
Demetrius
you.
Angelos, the curator of the Urban Action Showcase, and Willie Johnson has a part in the showcase called the Call to Action. So actually, I'm doing a seminar for the Call to Action on Saturday. I just got this new moniker that they called me. They called me the King of Indie Films.
Yes, I
So
saw that. I was like,
Saturday, I'm,
yes,
I'm
amazing.
I'm
Yes.
teaching a course on independent filmmaking on Saturday.
Wow, that's amazing. Okay. That's definitely something. So, the course that you're teaching, is this also virtual or is this in person?
It's a virtual seminar. So go
Awesome.
to www.urbanactionshowcase.com, register, and pick my course, my seminar.
Amazing. So you heard again, www.urbanactionshowcase and choose webinar, correct? And just choose your course. And that's it, guys.
Correct.
And you will be with the
Choose my course.
amazing Robert Parham. Yes, this is great. And, not to, delve too personal, I thank you for your service, first and foremost,
Oh,
because you are a veteran from the Air Force as well. From what I heard, you did 20 years in.
that's correct. That's correct. So the pleasure's mine. I did 20 years. I'm retired. And if I had to do it all over, I would do it again.
That's amazing. We definitely thank you because, Jerome within the house, he's also a veteran. So the connection was there. I was very excited to read that. And of course, I reside, in a huge veteran community here in Fort Walton, Destin area. So I'm right by Eglin Air Force Base. So you know a lot about that
You're
also.
right by
So
Eglin Air Force Base.
exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
In Hartsville, yes.
Been in and out of there a few
So
times.
yes, that's awesome. So you've done some amazing things. You got into film, you transitioned. So how did that work with you transitioning from, the worlds of boxing and kickboxing into the film industry? I know that I read that some of your idols, in kickboxing, they were actually in the film industry and kind of introduced you to it as well.
Well, what happened is when I was stationed at Keesler Air Force Base in Mississippi, while I was in the Air Force, I was pretty, and I don't want to sound arrogant or anything, but I was pretty well known for my accomplishments and for my competitiveness, et cetera, and so forth. I had a gentleman who was a good friend of mine, John Graham, who had a martial arts school in Alabama, and he actually was a stunt coordinator on the film, and he got me in. So I
Wow.
was like an extra. If you look real close in Under Siege when the water's coming
Yes.
into the bow of the boat, you can look, you can see me for like half a second, right? And that was I was like, wow, I can do this. And then I went on to do another film. I was in the Insider with Al Pacino and Russell Crowe. Got
Right.
to meet them. Great people. Uh,
That's
and
awesome.
then and all this happened down in Mississippi, Alabama area. Right behind that, I was in a movie that was released in Germany. It was never released in the States with Bridget Nielsen. If you remember her, she used to be Sylvester Stallone's wife,
Yes.
and Matthias Hughes. And I had my
Wow.
first like on-screen fight scene, and then it was a wrap for me. I was hooked. I was
Ah,
hooked. And
okay.
when I came out here to California, I got mentored by Jim Kelly, the late Jim Kelly, um, which
Rest in
was
peace.
it was incredible, incredible. I learned a lot about the film business, et cetera, and so forth. Um, then I noticed up here in the Bay Area where I live, there's not a lot of roles for African American
American.
males unless you're
Right.
a thug.
That is
So
true.
with that. I decided with a friend of mine to form our own production company. We make our own films and we get distribution for them.
Amazing. That's awesome. Yes, so I I saw that and I noticed that you were also, now an award winning, film producer as well. You're a director, writer, actor, all of the above. So these achievements are just outstanding. And um, I did also read up on, you had Robert Parham Day, August 27th of 2019. And back in
Yeah,
2017, you had Robert Parham Week, which was through New Jersey, the state of New Jersey. So
correct,
I was just taken back.
correct.
I was like, that is simply amazing. So with everything that you're doing now, and you're highly recognized, and no, we did not take that as you're being conceited or anything like that. You have these accomplishments because you've worked hard for them. So yes, you should be recognized for your work and your talents. Kudos, and I think you should be honored all the time. So with that, what projects are you currently working on that we could expect from you?
Great question. So right now I'm working on a project called Mad as Hell. It's starring myself and Cinda Williams. You might
Mm,
remember Cinda Williams from Mo Better Blues.
mm.
And I also have starring in that movie the original G-Man of hip hop
Oh
and an
yes.
up and coming talent. Yeah, so G-Man and an up and coming talent. His name is Gary Turner. So the movie basically, I like to do a mishmash when I think and write script. So if I took a blender and I put Death Wish in that blender, and then I put Heat in that blender, and maybe a little bit of Lethal Weapon, and press the button, then you have Mad as Hell. Okay,
Mm.
I think I'm hooked on the action genre. I love the action genre, and there's some comedic elements, but they're natural comedic elements in this
Okay.
film that I think will excite people, get people entertained. Without
Absolutely.
having to show skin or degrade women or black men, etc., and so forth. It's a nice, clean action film.
That's awesome. And everyone can appreciate that. I know I love a great action movie because, most movie addicts, I don't know about everybody else, but I can speak for myself. If the movie doesn't catch me right away, I'm like, okay. So I'm always looking for that. I can't wait. I'm like, yes, all of that mixed up together, lethal weapon. Look, that blend is going to be amazing. So I definitely can't wait to see all of this amazing stuff on screen. So that's awesome. And with that, and working with so many people, I mean, your roster goes on and on and on, for days. So being in the industry now, who have you worked with that you would say, you did say Jim Kelly, and who is it that you would love to work with, better
Mhm.
yet, that you haven't had the opportunity to
Who
so
would
far?
I love to work with? Um, I'm a big fan of the black exploitation era. So all of those people, all of those stars that laid the path for me, I would like to work with them all. Everybody that's um, all of them, all of them. I'm not going to make any specific names because I don't want to leave anybody out.
Right.
But everybody from the black exploitation era, I want to work with them. You
Okay.
got to. Uh, I like to call myself the keeper of that era, the keeper of the legends. I work
Right.
with them. I put them in my films. We talk, we collaborate. I learn a lot from people from that era. I learned a lot from. I had an opportunity to work with Hawthorne James. That man is amazing,
Yes, he is. Yeah.
amazing.
Big Red.
Taught me a
Yes.
lot.
Yes, absolutely.
Big Red. Yes, I had the opportunity to work with Fred Williamson. I mean, come
Wow.
on. You know how much now he probably is the first independent filmmaker. You know, he taught me
Yes.
a lot. Had the
Yeah.
opportunity to work alongside Ron Van Cleef, who taught me a
Mm,
lot. Gloria Hendry taught me a lot. I mean,
yes.
I'm
And the list goes
speechless.
on and
You
on,
know,
right? That's
it goes on
amazing.
and on and on. You know,
That's awesome. So now that we know that you would, the list is a huge list, and of course, you don't want to leave anybody out, and rightfully so, because there are amazing actors and actresses out there that all deserve the kudos and the hats off. Um, we have all endured something together, the past couple of months,
hmm
this pandemic that's
hmm
amongst us. And, you know,
hmm
what I wanted to know, how did this affect you per se with production? And, did it push you to write more, or did you, was it a huge, hit on the industry, you would say, from your viewpoint?
it was a huge hit on the industry as in total because people couldn't go out to the movies, etc., and so forth. Therefore, um, I almost felt like it was my responsibility to keep people entertained at some level. So I spent most of that time uh, editing some projects, writing, learning about my craft. And as soon as we were able to go out and about, boom, I'm filming. You know, so as I said, we're filming Mad as Hell. We did 25 scenes last week in two
Wow.
days. 25 scenes. We have like 83 scenes. So I mean, the movie's almost done. I think I'll get it done in the next 2 weeks as far as shooting is concerned. So the pandemic gives yourself an opportunity to use that time wisely.
That is true. That is very true, especially, with the time that we have on our hands, being, on lockdown, and, not knowing what to do next or what's coming next. Of course, we have to make sure that we are, staying active, be proactive in everything.
Right.
Consistency is definitely the key. And with you, we see that this wonderful production, and I can't wait, action film, yes, coming to us very soon based on that. And yeah, that's a huge accomplishment. You said shot 25 scenes. I mean, we're all in the same industry, so I know that's a lot. And that's amazing
Yeah,
to get it done in that short time.
I as an independent filmmaker, and as a director, I have um, the blessing of working with a great crew. You know, we're working with 3 cameras. Um, we have some great actors that know their lines, so it's we're able to move at a faster pace than most people do.
Right. That is amazing. So with, you having the team behind you and the production as it is, do you already have another project coming right behind that one that we can also
I,
look out for?
I certainly do. I certainly do. So first, let me plug Snow Black. Snow Black will be out January 12th. Alongside of it is a soundtrack that has nocturnal. We have music by unreleased music
Right.
by Tupac Shakur. Um, um, what's his name from Guns N' Roses? Slash from Guns N' Roses and Nocturnal. So Too Sweet. We have a whole. The album is
Amazing
slamming.
artist.
It's slamming and it's
Amazing
amazing.
artist.
So we got Snow Black coming out, and then we'll probably be finished with Mad as Hell. Behind that, we are scripting right now for well, let me throw this one in there. We're finishing a project that I started about a year ago, 2 years ago, called Bullets, Blades, and Blood.
Mm,
And right now we're scripting for a reboot of Three the Hard Way.
Oh, really?
Yes, really,
Okay.
really.
Look, yeah, no, okay, look, now you're talking to my spirit now. That's awesome. Yeah, okay. All right,
Yeah.
I see you shaking and moving. That's amazing. So, um, look, I'm intrigued. Three the hard way. Look, I keep going back. Like, really? Okay. What motivated you
I'm
to
gonna
do that?
give you what motivated me to do that. I have a friend in the industry. Actually, his show comes on tonight on El Rey Network. His name is Art
Okay.
Camacho. Art is one of my mentors as well. So
Uh-huh.
we talked about doing a film. We did Bullets, Blades, and Blood. We talked about doing another film, and we came up with the idea. But we're going to use some modern day situations to make a classic movie modern. So we take the old and blend it with the new. Um, I can't really give you who's casted in it,
Right. Right.
but let's just say you're gonna love it.
I already do, just because of the energy you're giving me. I'm like, yes. Look, I'm already waiting, for Mad as Hell because you told me about the whole blender situation going on at all the movies, like I'm definitely going to be tuned in for that. So, wow, I'm taken back. So that's amazing. Kudos to you with that. And as far as everything else that's going, I know with you it took a lot. You've prepped yourself to be where you are now. I read that, film, it's not, you've gotten into that whole industry, but I know from reading, and I thought that was something that was very good pointer that you mentioned was that, you as a young man, growing up, in your grammar school and high school years, that you did participate in school plays. So that already came from your background coming up. And you
Right,
stated that it was
right,
a way for you to overcome your fear of public speaking. And I was like, really?
right,
That was very interesting. So, because you
right,
do
right.
very well, everything I've watched, I was just like, well, it definitely played off. And I think that all goes back in. I think it was just I mean, I've read so much about you, and connecting the dots, everything makes absolute sense because I feel like discipline is a part of everything, especially with your martial arts training, where you said that it's not just for self defense. And I love this. You said it's a discipline and a tool of self development, and I love that. So, is that something that
That's
you
right.
apply in your
That's right.
everyday
That's right.
life? And that's something
That's
you
right.
definitely
So,
apply.
we are all human. Yeah, we're all human. We all have our downfalls. We all have our vices. We all fall short of total glory. But the more you can develop yourself into being the best human being you can while you're here on this earth, will pay off in the long run. The whole love your neighbor thing, the whole be a blessing to everybody you meet, the whole lift up your neighbor, your brother, your sister, etc. And so forth. That means a lot to me. I've helped a lot of people in a lot of situations, but I never look for anything in return. Because if you're looking for something in return, then it's not coming from the heart. It's not
Correct.
coming from the heart. So I do things for people just because that could be me. That could be me needing somebody, some help, and this, that, and the other. And if I sow those seeds, I don't know where I'm going to be 20, 30 years from now. You know, um, if I'm in a situation, I would hope that karma, what I have put out, comes back to me.
To you,
You know,
correct.
so we all need a little help once in a while. So the
Absolutely.
self development part, yeah, that's the whole self development part. Just be the best human being you can be. I mean, the world is crazy today, and it's not because people are being the best human being they can be.
That is so true. That is so true. And, since you did bring that up, the state that we're in right now, what is your viewpoint on that as far as, with everything that we're all facing together, how important was it for us to, do that right thing and go out and vote, or not only for the presidency but also making sure that you're looking at your direct governance locally and so forth, because it's a huge picture. It's on a grander scheme. Everybody always, oh, presidency, and
Right.
it's a lot more than just the president. So
Mm.
what is your viewpoint on that?
Right, right. My viewpoint is this. I usually don't speak politically, so I keep my politics to myself. All I say is go out and vote for a better world. Whatever you think in your heart that better world would be for you and maybe your neighbor and your family, then just go and vote. Exercise your right to vote. Exercise your right to have your voice heard. Exercise your right to protest in a peaceful manner. Um, our forefathers, and I'm going to say this, I can say forefathers, but I'm talking about 1960. Those people that helped us, that marched, that got killed, that got hit with bricks, etc., and so forth in the 60s, didn't do all that for us not to vote. So vote. Whoever you vote for, vote. Exercise that right.
Correct. It is your personal choice. No one can force your hand. You just have to make sure that you're taking a stance for what you believe in. So that is love it. Great
Right.
response. And with
I,
that being
I
said,
tell
I
you what, I
go ahead. Go ahead.
oh, I was going to tell you. I tell you who I voted for in the last election, in the 2016 election. I voted for me. Just to let you know. I handwritten I put my name down here. You have the option to, write another candidate. So I was my own candidate. I voted for me. So I got
So
one vote
for yourself. All right, look,
for
Robert Parham,
myself.
look,
I did.
we might see you running for presidency very soon. Look, we don't know. Maybe to come. Look, speaking some things out there. We don't know, but that would be great. We would have it all. But that's amazing. But see, we needed that chuckle. So thank you for that. But I want to take it back, so that the people, because I believe that you are definitely an amazing person. You've done so much. And of course, people, coming up in the industry, new artists, actors, whatever the case may be, they can actually, learn something from you. And since you are having this Urban Action Showcase webinar, it is www.urbanactionshowcase, and then they would just look for your course, correct?
Correct. Correct.
Okay. All right.
Seminars by several different people. Pick mine. I'm going to teach you some things about how we made Mad as Hell, how we did Jackson Bolt, how we got distribution, how we did Snow Black. One of the just all the missing pieces that a lot of independent filmmakers have.
Absolutely. And with that being said, where can my viewers find you if they want to, besides the showcase?
If they want to reach out to me, the easiest and quickest way is through Facebook, Robert Parham, or my fan page on Facebook, Robert Parham fan page, or Instagram, where I'm at the real Robert Parham. Outside of that, generally you have to go through Yolanda Mack, Mac Marketing, or my personal assistant, Amy Naylor, on Facebook.
Amazing. So you heard it right here, guys. You could definitely reach out and go through Yolanda Mack Marketing, and that is Miss Mack, Yolanda Mack Marketing. And he gave you his Facebook ads as well as his Instagram and his personal assistant. So there's no excuses. So with that being said, what advice would you give someone coming up young in the industry that aspire to be where you are today?
Make your own path. People are going to tell you no. You take that no and you turn it into a yes. You make your own path. Sometimes You have to box, make your own path, own your own product, learn all you can, and you'll be successful.
Absolutely. And since you gave the cue with the product, just to let you guys know again that this wonderful interview with the amazing Robert Parham is sponsored by Unstoppable Products. And that, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to tell you, you definitely want to go to that website because you will be unstoppable also. Instantaneous results with that skin mask. Okay. And back to Mr. Parham, just to say how all the medals that I've seen, I'm just amazed with everything that you're doing. And I can't say enough and how honored that I am to have you in my presence and being here on the show. And, I did hear that you are doing the new movie besides Mad as Hell, that the remake. So if somebody is interested, you are going to be doing casting calls for these for the new
I
upcoming.
do casting calls. I, I do casting calls for hard to fill roles. I usually write with somebody in mind. It's a
Ah,
lot easier
amazing.
for me that way. Um, but I do casting calls for hard to fill roles. Generally, I'll put up a Facebook page and send it out, and people will jump on that Facebook page, or they'll be in my inbox, or they'll be in my personal assistant's inbox.
That's
So
amazing.
when projects come up, just look for them.
Okay, awesome. So, Harriet, we're asking all the right questions. So, there's no excuses. You guys heard it straight from Mr. Parham's mouth. You'll see it on his page. You'll see it on his personal assistant's page. You guys want to get the proper training. You go to www.Urban Action Showcase. You choose his course because he's going to teach you some things, okay? Especially about Mad as Hell and all the
I'm
stuff
gonna
that
teach
he
some
has up and
things.
coming. Okay, some things. So that is amazing. Well, I just want to say I am truly honored again. Thank you so much for joining us on In the House Media House Calls inside of 285. We're definitely going to be following you and definitely, giving thumbs up all the way. I'm very, eager to see all the stuff that you have coming out, and definitely stay in touch because I would love to even bring you back after everything comes out so we could talk more about it. And I'm going to look at that webinar as well. So
Thank you for
thanks
having me.
again, guys. Absolutely.
Yeah. Thank
Absolutely.
you for
I'm
having me.
just tickled pink about everything. So thank you. And thank you very much to our sponsors again, unstoppableproducts.com and of course Sapphire Emerald Magazine. And you guys make sure you come out on November 19th. Okay, as In the House Media and all of our sponsors bring you Are You Ready for Prime Time? Featuring the unstoppable Too Sweet. And you heard it from Mr. Parham that she's amazing herself. So y'all better come out and be in the building.
Amazing.
That is November 19th. You don't want to miss this. So we're all telling you. So y'all better be there. And until next time, guys, stay tuned. We have lots coming your way. You don't want to miss it. We're going to give you all the great updates. This is Michelle Diamond and Robert Parham here with In the House Media House Call. Until next time.